Donald Trump has an issue, this time with Ben Carson, because the good doctor questioned Trump's faith in Jesus.
Chris, who is he to question my faith when I am, he doesn't even know me. I've met him a few times, but I don't know Ben Carson. He was a doctor, perhaps an okay doctor, by the way. You can check that out, too. We're not talking about a great... He was an okay doctor.
I don't know about okay doctor. He was the first man to separate conjoined twins.
Because he's a doctor and he hired one nurse, he's going to end up being the president of the United States?
I don't know what was more entertaining, the soundbite or Chris Cuomo's reactions. Okay, duly noted. So is Trump finished with his constructive criticism? Oh, not even close.
For him to criticize me on my faith is absolutely, and for him to read from the Bible in his memory, it looked like he memorized it about 2 minutes before he went on stage.
Do you think you're more a man of faith than he is?
Ben Carson is not going to be your next president, that I can tell you.
And this is your 2015 election. Okay, now it's interesting to note that Trump is actually leading with Republican-leaning evangelical voters, beating not only Carson, but the scripture-touting governor and Rick Unger BFF, Mike Huckabee. Okay, Carl, from what I can tell, Trump is not really a practicing Christian, more of maybe like a Christmas, Easter kind of guy, just shows up during the big holidays.
Yeah, and I like Ben Carson, full disclosure, but I think Ben Carson is kind of like the Insta-Jesus right now, since he's become into this campaign. He was pro-abortion, he was pro-choice, and as a doctor and everything like that, and separating conjoined twins, I do that before breakfast every morning. So
yeah,
that's not a big deal. Yeah, John Hopkins got nothing on me.
Twin what?
Cheerios.
Yeah. You separate twin Cheerios.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, but I think that
he met on Craigslist, I think.
The Donald has a great point. Who is he to question his faith? You know what? Donald Trump had a very powerful line when he talked about his pro-life stance. He said very clearly, he said, you know what, I was pro-choice, and now I'm pro-life because I know somebody who grew up to be a rock star that was considering being aborted. And that is a flawless answer, and I think that's something that is very powerful with a lot of the voters, regardless of religious step back.
Amy, I think the theme here is that if you go after Trump in any way, shape, or form, even if it's minuscule, you will come back with the heat of 10,000 suns.
Right, and I think he actually wrote a book about that if someone attacks you, you've got to attack right back. But Donald Trump problem...
Sun Tzu wrote a book about that.
Right, but his problem is that, okay, I'm with you, I'm not with you. And he goes way too far in it. I actually agree with Donald Trump that I think that it's inappropriate to question another person's faith and what's in their heart, but to accuse Ben Carson of being an okay doctor, give me a break.
Yeah, he was running basically. He was a top doctor in his field at age 27 at Johns Hopkins, which I heard is a pretty good facility.
Yeah.
So it's funny that had to come. Well, he had a good point, but that kind of threw everything off.
That's exactly right. And by the way, I am not going to sit here and judge either of these men on their faith. Their faith is what their faith is. It's none of my business. And if they want to have this argument over that, it just shows you how sad this presidential campaign is.
Yep.
I don't pick my presidents based on the depth of their faith. I take them at their word.
But the left-leaning...
Let's not talk about it.
The left-leaning media is happy to illustrate this because
they
think it's an egg in our face.
But Carl, if you can credit Donald Trump for his conversion on the abortion issue, you should also credit Ben Carson.
Absolutely, but I think Ben Carson is not talking about his past experience in religion and things like that. So.
Okay. Well, it's not over with the Donald. He also took aim at former head of HP and rising in the polls, Carly Fiorina.
First it was Rosie, then it was Megyn. Now you got Carly Fiorina. They got you in Rolling Stone magazine making fun of the way she looks. Why do you talk about how women look so much? It's not presidential. It's probably not even kind.
I'm talking about persona. Look, here's another one.
You said look at that face.
Between Carson and Carly.
You said look at that face.
I'll say some nice things about you at least, so that they'll say at least he says nice things about some people.
I'll take it.
The fact is that Carly Fiorina has had a terrible past.
A terrible past. Is she talking about the HP boardroom brawl that led to her firing?
Yeah, it probably is, but I couldn't care less. This is where I'm so lost about Donald Trump. You don't say things like that about anybody else. You've seen her face? Do you want that face to be president? Shame on him.
Is that the basic answer?
There's no excuse. I couldn't care less why he says things like that. The amazing thing to me, and I worry so much about what it says about us, is that he's going to go up 3 more points in the poll for being so insulting.
Never affect him. The Megyn Kelly thing didn't. I'll bet this won't either.
Right.
And I don't know why.
I don't
really
know why
don't
either. But I'm starting to wonder if Donald Trump isn't the product of some tragic hazing incident at his military prep school that he has to come out with all these bullying remarks.
Interesting, Carl. 5 seconds.
I'm going to defend Donald to the gates of hell. So
It probably will.
Really?
That's why we have you on.
Talking that way about her?
yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think about Donald Trump and his comment against Carly Fiorina? Carl's all for it. Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments and let us know. And be sure to get your copy of Ben Carson's book, One Nation. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is cover the shipping cost, which is $4.95. Call 1-800-655-7567. That's 1-800-655-7567. Or visit newsmax.com/Ben. Okay, coming up next, we have the latest on the Iran deal. It never, ever ends, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Interesting stuff. Stay tuned.